Up next on the Tesla Plaid channel. Welcome back to the Tesla Plaid channel. We just received a set of wheels, lightweight forged 19-inch by 10-inch wide wheels. These are from Intense Wheels. You can find them at intensewheel.com. And we're looking at them for the very first time, and they look good. And as shown, they are 23.8 pounds, nice and light. Oh yeah, real light. We're going to be mounting a set of Nitto NT555Rs, aka triple nickels, on these. If you're wondering why we chose that tire, well, it's the only tire for a 19-inch wheel that is the required 28-inch diameter that you've got to run on a Plaid. If you run something much smaller or much taller, you're going to have some problems. We know that firsthand from experience. 28 inches plus or minus 3%. We'll be testing these out next week, so be sure to tune in and see how they perform on the quarter-mile drag strip. Welcome back to the Tesla Plaid channel. We're at Bradenton Motorsports Park, Saturday, August 24th, 2024. And quite a few cars out here, as you can see. We're usually one of the first cars out here, but we're about 90 minutes later than usual. This will give us a chance to see who's fast out here. Some interesting looking cars already. All right, let's get out there and race. First pass of the night, we're lining up with this Camaro on big slicks. We're at 87% battery state of charge, and peak performance just came up at this moment. We're expecting better prep than we had last time out here. A lot of serious cars out here, so a lot of serious cars. We don't know much about this Camaro, but it sure sounds good. Our buddy Sean. We're expecting a full tree here. Something seemed funny about that light. I thought I left late. Not sure how that was a red light. I was actually trying to give it an extra split second, but based on what I saw on the board, he went red way before we did. Okay, no time slips tonight? There's nobody here at the time slip booth. It's all locked up. That's weird. Is the equipment not working? All right, we'll check the app instead. Hi there. There's nobody in the time slip booth.
Go to registration and they can print one for you.
Okay, thank you. It seemed like we had some traction issues because we had a 156 60-foot and a 612 at the 8th mile. This car is usually under 6 seconds at the 8th mile at 118.6, and then a 939 at 149.4 miles an hour. The Camaro 7.5 at the 8th mile at 99.8 miles an hour. He obviously shut down early. We wound up crossing the finish line almost 3 seconds ahead of it. Yeah, not the race I was expecting based on everything I saw about that Camaro, but let's make another pass and see if this car will run in the 920s tonight under these conditions. Do a better 60-foot than that, because that 156 is way off our typical mid-140s. Let's see what we get. All right, we said we'll line up with anyone, so how about this rail dragster here? It's got a whole lot of motor, enormous slicks. I think our chances are slim unless he red lights. But hey, we'll line up with him. We've been talking to people around the track and they tell me that every car they've seen in the right lane is red lit. Same thing thing happened out at Showtime a week ago. Oh, he had some traction. Somebody broke? Darn it. Looks like the Camaro over there broke, so I'm gonna have to push it out. And it's gonna be after 10 o'clock by the time we make this run, so looks like this might be our last run of the night. Guess we may as well go big or go home. And we're gonna go big with this rail dragster here. We're at 83% battery state of charge. We're in dragster mode with peak performance ready. All right, looks like the track's ready. Oh, he's rolling way through. All right, let's see if we get some traction here and run a 920. Well, I don't like the looks of that at all. And is that dirty here? Full tree. That was fun. Felt like we weren't a mile behind him. I think that car traps around 135 at half track, and we might have been doing 120. So 15 mile an hour less is not completely shameful, but obviously bus lengths there. All right, well, we didn't red light on that. We had an 84 light. I was trying to take it a little easy. Maybe I could have been more aggressive. I don't know what the deal was with the tree earlier, but we ran a 925 at 149.55. I like those numbers. I like anything in the 920s and under 150 miles an hour, so that I'm not breaking any rules out here. The rail dragster ran a 857 at 111, and the thing to note there that he was doing 23 miles an hour less at the quarter mile finish line than he was at the 8th mile. His 8th mile time, 5:01 at 134.4 miles an hour to our 5:98 at 119. So he was doing 15 mile an hour more and almost a full second faster at the 8th mile. And he was good on the light with an 014 reaction time of 14 to our 84. But again, we were just trying to avoid what that odd red light was earlier when we thought we left late, and yet somehow it gave us an 01 negative. Good pass. We crossed the finish line 3/4 of a second behind him because we were doing 40 miles an hour faster. He was doing 111 and we were 149.5 here on the ticket. Yeah, that's a 40 mile an hour spread. Yeah, don't like that. We like to be closer speed to the other car, and the car who won stays ahead. So always a little bit awkward when you're passing somebody at high speed, but hey, we're making our whole pass and he shut down at the 8th mile, so that's the way it worked out. And notice that our 60 foot was a 147, much better than that 156 on the previous pass. So 1/10 of a second right there on the 60 foot. Fun pass, good way to end the night. Over 120 cars and getting here a little late combined to only allow us to make 2 runs. Since we were cut short, let's look at a couple races we had out at Showtime. We're always neck and neck with Don's Nitrous Nova. All right, Luis brought one of his Grans Nationals out here. This is the one that runs 6s, not to be confused with the all-out Grans National that he's got that runs 5s. But yeah, this thing is still beautiful and pretty impressive. We actually raced this car many times before with our other Tesla, and those 2 cars are real competitive because our great Tesla Raven 2019 Model S Performance runs high 6s, and these were always neck and neck. But we love Grans Nationals. Buick turbocharged 6. I love the look of this car. All right, Grans National's lining up for his first pass tonight. Too bad the scoreboard's not working. Let's see what he's got. I don't think the Challenger's got a chance against this Grans National right here. He's trying to line up the back tire. That's a quick way to knock a 1/10 of a second off your ET. That Grans National was dialed in. Great reaction time, left flat, quick. Mid 6?
6.7 and ran.
6.7.
Oh, I got the
It looked like an awesome launch.
Right.
You had a good reaction time too, I could tell.
Yeah, this is all factory suspension.
Okay.
This is all factory shocks. The other one has the 129. This one is
Yeah, I mean,
car.
a 149 60 foot out of that? Outstanding. Yeah, I was impressed with that launch.
Even now, right? I can turn it up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
I drive it here.
I think 650s is just fine for this
yeah,
one.
right?
What do you think?
Yeah. So
Yeah. Keep it reliable.
Yeah. AC.
Yeah.
This is for the street.
Love it. 650 Grans National running on the street with air conditioning. Love it. All right, Don's out here with his Nova, 440 cubic inches of nitrous power, and he's upped his nitrous. So Don used to be running a 200 horsepower nitrous plate, and he bumped it up to a new 300 horse plate. I was asking him about it. He said, yeah, I upped my nitrous, now up yours. Except I don't have any nitrous in my Tesla. No numbers on the board, but it sounded like he had good power. The car was doing what it was supposed to, but he had a little bit of an issue there. First gear. All right, we're down to just 66% battery state of charge, but we'll just make this pass for grins. We got to take the left lane, and there's questionable traction over there. Yeah, I'm not really seeing any prep. They're getting ready to drag the track here in a few minutes anyway, so I don't think they're going to waste any glue here. Something wrong with the staging lights here. The top two bulbs are stuck on, so we can't tell. Oh, there we are. All right, let's see what 66% will do in a questionable traction lane. I'm gonna get him. He was bouncing around over there. Looked like we had peak performance ready just before, just as we were launching. I think that race alone was worth the price of admission for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it too. Not going to be the best ET, hopefully under 650, but we'll see here. Brutally hot out here, still over 90 degrees. 623 with a red light. Red light? Yeah. Oh, I didn't even see it. I don't know if the red light's working on there. Dang it. I did not see a red light, did you? I thought I was just right on that tree. Let's go back and look at the video. Maybe there's something funny with that tree, because I left when I normally leave, and according to this, both Don and I were red, but maybe I was just slightly more red. 422 to 429. That's really weird. They've got the tree set up so 500 on the ticket would be a perfect light. Anything under 500 is a red light. Weird. I had a 155 60 foot to his 146. We ran a 623 at 118.1. He ran a 656 at 103.5. We had him by 0.3 of a second at the finish line, about 3 car lengths, but if we red lit first by 0.07, seconds. Those reaction times are so close, just a few thousandths. You got me, Don.
That's weird shit there, man.
I don't know what the hell's going on with this ticket. Did you read this ticket?
Yes, like backwards.
Yeah.
And I don't believe my mile an hour either.
There's a
I can
bunch
do
of
100.
things
I can do
don't
103
understand.
miles an hour on this motor.
Yeah.
I mean, I was bouncing up and down and shit. And trust me, I
saw
shifted
that.
before I should have, but still.
Did you see red lights on either one of our lanes? Because I didn't see the red bulb.
There wasn't no red bulb, was it?
I don't think you and I red lit by almost a tenth of a second. According to this, we both red lit by
That's what I'm
08
saying too. I don't think something's not right with the machine, man.
with the tree.
Yeah, the tree
That's
itself.
just not right. But Don, did you see how close our reaction times were to each other?
Yeah.
We were off by 007.
Yeah, that's close.
7 thousandths of a second.
We both wanted it.
Yeah. But, you know,
I
that's...
just don't trust it, bro. I mean, even though I had a bad run, I should have been a whole lot more than 103 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Something's wrong.
I think that was off, and I think there's something funky with that tree.
All right, they just re-prepped the track, so we're gonna run it back. I don't have any reason to think the tree's gonna be right though. So all the electronics was out earlier, and they were doing all kinds of stuff. The wiring, changing dip switches and things. Did they give you a number over the phone or anything?
No.
Not
You
even
have to wait. Robert's working on it.
Okay.
The dip switches were all f***ed up. The thing that powers the RF converter was blown out. So
Yeah.
replacing them one by one to try to fix it.
No. So we think there might be something wrong with that tree, or it's just set to a different setting, because Don very rarely red lights, and if he does, it's not by almost a tenth of a second. It's just not going to happen with Don, and yet we left at the same time. And you can see the last several times we raced, we were like double O's and 01s. All right, we got water galore here. We're at 64% battery state of charge. Not quite peak performance ready, so there's still 2 minutes remaining, but that's just fine with me. That might be the opposite of the last run. He crossed the line first, but he red lit. I did not, according to the tree anyway. I haven't seen the ticket yet. It's going on 8:30 and it's still 91 degrees out here. I think we got the white slip this time.
634, 118. You red light.
I let him take the red light. It seems like there's just something slightly off with that tree. Let's see how much he red lit by.
Almost the same as
Almost.
you did.
Almost the same as both of us.
Yeah.
On that last ticket, he and I had almost the identical reaction times.
Yeah.
We were all, our reaction times are only different by 0.007 was the difference between us.
Yeah.
But I was first, was worse, so I lost. But
Yeah.
the fact that we left so similarly, and again on this one, I actually delayed my launch a little. Even this claims that I red lit, but red lit by less than him. So there's something a little off with that tree. Because Don is consistent around 0. So according to this is saying he red lit by 85.
Yeah.
He had an 85 red light. He's not going to red light by that much.
No.
I mean, 20, maybe 30, but not by 85. Interesting race nonetheless. Almost the flip-flop of the last one.
Yeah.
All right, man, I'll see you. So I'm not surprised that our ET was off even from that last run. 634 now at 118.3. And he ran better, 621 at 118.3 also. So our mile an hour, almost identical. His ET on this pass, 621, really close to the 623 I ran on the previous pass. But it gave me a red light on the previous one, and it gave him a red light on this one. So the car that crossed first lost both times. Very interesting. Let's talk to Don and see what he thinks of this ticket.
I gave you that one. See, look, my mile an hour went back up to 118, where it should have been on the first ticket.
15 mile an hour better.
158, 60 foot mark, terrible. I should be like 132, 134, 60 foot mark.
Yeah,
I'm breaking tires with, even with prep.
But you know what doesn't make sense the most on this ticket is, according to this, you red lit by 85.
Yeah.
I don't think you red lit by 85.
I don't know. I could have.
No, I don't think so.
I got to go with what they got because.
But if you think about it,
what it is.
on the previous one, you and I both red lit by 80.
Yeah.
And now you red lit by 85.
That's a lot of difference.
If you're going to red light, you're going to red light by 20 or 30.
Yeah.
You. And you and I left right together. Double O difference between us on the previous one.
They
So,
got something calibrated.
There's
right?
something wrong on that tree. Think about it.
It's not mattering anyway, man. I got a different power band with this one, so I got to tune it all better. I mean, you know, right now it's coming in too quick with too much power, and I'm breaking the tire. I haven't hooked up once out there.
So I didn't see the, obviously I haven't seen that run yet, but were you pedaling on that pass?
On that pass, it broke loose and then it hooked, so I took it on out, shifted. I mean, I didn't pedal, but it broke the tire loose instantly as soon as I come out of the hole.
Yeah, you see
I mean, the 158,
Yeah.
I'm off like 2/10 on my 60-foot.
Yeah, for sure.
And I've lowered the tire pressure, I've lowered the RPM. Only thing I got to do now is change when the nitrous comes on.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm gonna do next.
We had almost identical mile an hour on that pass.
Yeah.
That's unusual.
True.
118.39 to 118.33. That's the closest I've ever seen our mile an hour. I think that mile an hour is right.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Based on where my car's at, down around 60%.
I think the time's pretty close too.
Yeah.
You know, the ET time, I believe that's pretty close because of the way I spun. That's about right. I should have been a 590 pass or 590 something without spinning.
2 to 3 tenths there, yeah, for sure.
Did you spin it all?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
okay, so if you're spinning, their track's just not hooking.
Worse than the previous time. I had a 155 60 foot when on our first race and 162 on
you
this.
can tell on yours too. Yeah, you got awful
So,
60-foot mark.
Anyway, at least we're racing, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm having fun, but you know, I would like their equipment to be accurate. You know, that's why we pay money.
Absolutely.
Come out here to do that. I didn't get a slip on the first pass, so.
But hey, a bad day racing is better than a good day working, right?
Exactly. At least we didn't get rained out either. I'm gonna do a little more work to see if I can get a 5 something tonight.
All right. I'll look for you out here next week.
All right.
All right, John. See you.
Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. When the tree is kind of bogus like that, you just can't run your race, because even on that last run where I waited till I almost saw green, it still said that I red lit, although not as bad as Dawn, so I won the race on that technicality. But I don't think either one of us red lit on either of those races, to be honest with you. But that's just what it is tonight, but I'm sure they'll get it fixed by next week. Look forward to it running properly next time. And thanks for joining us tonight on the Tesla Plaid channel.